He was having bad tooth pain. I brought him to my personal dentist.
Why don't you give us a big smile? So basically, they're really her teeth. They're just residing in your mouth.
She wanted me to be in a relationship with her.
Friends with benefits?
I ended it because she's just not the most attractive woman.
I didn't want to tell his business, but since he wanted to go there, let's ride.
Objection.
Plaintiff Melinda Travaglioni claims she loaned her former friend money to fix his teeth, but he never paid her back. She's suing for $4,985. Defendant Derrick Powell claims the plaintiff is the one who breached the contract by cutting off his income after he broke off their romance. He says he owes nothing.
Truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Naj.
This is case number 043 on the docket, Travaglioni versus Powell.
Okay. We have the plaintiff here, Melinda Travaglioni, and you are suing Derrick Powell for $5,000 for breach of contract. Is
Yes,
that
sir.
correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Melinda, why don't you tell me your side of the case, and then Derrick, I'll come to you and you can answer, okay?
Sound good.
So what's going on here, Melinda?
Well, Your Honor, I met Derrick through my daughter. He used to work with her. He needed a ride one day. I drove him to his secondary job, and we got to know each other. We became friends. I later found out, he was having bad tooth pain. There was abscesses in his mouth where he needed several teeth removed. He needed caps in his mouth. He needed a lot of work done. He wanted to go on a payment plan with my personal dentist. I brought him to my personal dentist to try to help him out. And I said, look, instead of doing it that way, I have some money saved. I can help you so that this way your teeth can get done right, because you have to go on antibiotics. Your blood will go septic.
How much was that?
$4,200.
And Derrick, you got your teeth fixed? Why don't you give us a big smile? Well, there we go. Well, actually, that's a pretty good job. Yeah, why don't you give me the name of your dentist before you leave here today?
I will. He's very good.
He looks like he's very good. Good job. Okay, so he needed help with the teeth, and you obviously saw him as a friend, so
Yes.
You paid for his teeth.
Yes, sir.
And now what?
There's other things that I lent him money for, like we went to the mall, he got some sneakers, stuff like that. His car insurance I also helped him with. I put him on as my personal care attendant so that this way he can pay me back, where it wasn't cutting into his 2 jobs that he had, so that this way he wouldn't waste his money because he was getting a new apartment with his sister.
You have a personal care assistant?
Yes.
Me.
Not anymore.
Okay, but at some point, you saw this as a way for you to be paid back,
Correct.
that you would hire him as the personal care assistant
Correct.
for you.
And that's why we here.
And the money that he made on that, who pays him? Do you pay him or?
No, sir, the state pays him.
And you were thinking that the money that he got for being your personal assistant, that could go to repaying the loan you gave him for his teeth.
Or his 2 jobs. Wherever he paid me back from, that was up to him. I just wanted my money back.
I see. Okay.
But I was
Yeah.
trying to help him not tap into that money that he needed for his other personal necessities.
What's your take of this? Yeah.
All right, so, I was her PCA, and that's how she was gonna get the money back, but she's the one that breached the contract. She's the one that decided to turn the check off.
In other words, if she loaned you the money to get your teeth,
Well, she never gave me the
Then-
money. She paid the money on her own.
yeah,
To
so
the
you could have
dentist.
the teeth.
Yeah.
So basically,
But-
they're really her teeth. They're just residing in your mouth.
Exactly. So I could take the teeth or the money, either one?
Well, if it was my other show, she could take your teeth. But we're not going there.
Exactly.
Is that right, Najee?
No, we're not doing that today, Judge.
No, on a serious note,
I don't want the teeth. I have my own.
continue with what your argument here.
I was gonna pay her the money from the PCA checks, but like I said, she turned the checks off. And then it was more, she wanted me to, kind of like be in a relationship with her. It
Not
wasn't-
true, Your
Oh,
Honor.
so you're saying this was more than her just being your personal care assistant?
Correct.
Not
so,
true, Your Honor.
initially when I came to live with her, like I told her,
Oh, you lived with her? Wait,
yes.
this is new.
Yeah, she's forgetting details of the situation.
No, I'm not. I didn't want him to live with me. I was trying to help him where he can save his money. He didn't want to stay with me. He said, I have other places I could stay. I insisted. I said, stay with me so that this way you can save your money and get your apartment.
How long did he stay with you?
Well, I would say a duration of about a month and a half, but he didn't stay there every single night. It was here, there, everywhere. He would come
I
and
see.
stay when he felt as though he wanted to.
All right, Derrick, now what do you have to say about this?
She offered me to stay there. I stayed there. I told her my situation. I mean, it was pretty much up to her if she wanted to pay the dentist bill. She offered to do it. So, of course, my teeth were messed up, so I let her do it. I was gonna pay her back, but like she breached the contract by canceling out the check. And I had and I also would drive her around to her appointments and stuff. I helped her out. It wasn't like I just used her.
No one ever said he did, Your Honor.
What kind of did you have a relationship with her?
So, yeah, we had a relationship.
What relationship?
Romantic?
They were intimate.
Well, nah,
Was
we
it
were
romantic?
just,
Intimate.
no, we were just friends. That's it. Like, you know, close
Friends with benefits?
No.
No,
Yeah.
No, I don't understand what he's saying, and I don't know why his witness is leading him on what to say, because I don't even know who that is.
It's my
So,
sister. You
That's
know
the
who it
one that
is?
was in the
You
car
met
the
her
one
before.
day. Is that the
Okay,
one
Hang
that?
on, hang on
okay,
now.
let me hear from the witness. Okay, I'll find out what she has
She
to
was
say.
in a
Who's
car.
your witness?
Excuse me, Your
She-
Honor.
the
She
witness
was in a
is my
car
sister.
with us one day, sleeping. I've never even spoken a word to her but hello and goodbye. So I
She's
don't
a
know what
liar.
she's witnessing. I'm lying.
If you
Okay,
want
let's
to
hear
let the
what-
witness
yeah.
step up.
She can say whatever she'd like.
And what is your name?
It's Erilyn. I'm Derrick's sister.
Okay,
I didn't
okay,
even know her
welcome.
name
And
till
what do
right
you have
now.
to- what can you add to this?
Derrick told me that they were having intercourse and that he was dating Melinda and she signed him up for the PCA check.
That is not
I
true.
told Derrick he shouldn't do it because it was going to his bank account and she was receiving the money.
I
But Derrick
never
didn't listen to me. He continued
Hang on, ma'am.
to accept the money from Melinda. And he told me, oh, Melinda's getting my teeth fixed. I said, well, why is she getting your teeth fixed? He said, it's $5,000 and she has $50,000 in a drawer at her house too. And she offered to fix it. And then all of a sudden he says, oh, sis, guess what? She's trying to sue me over the money now. And I told him, I was like, why? Oh, I signed a piece of paper. I said, well, why did you sign the paper if she willingly gave you the money?
He
She was
insisted
stalking,
that
you
I-
were stalking him at his job, both jobs.
Excuse me.
Let me make one thing clear. I worked at McDonald's with Derrick.
You don't work there no more.
I
Yeah, yeah.
quit for a reason. So please do not interrupt
My
me.
daughter had to change her whole shift.
Okay, let me hear.
didn't have to change it because of me.
Who are you?
I am Zayara.
plaintiff's
I
witness.
am her daughter.
And what can you add to this?
Okay, so I was working at McDonald's with Derrick. They talked at my job, looked like when my mom came to pick me up. It was never stalking. He worked there, I worked there. I changed my shift because I didn't want my mother even being near him.
All right,
Because he
objection,
told me-
objection.
He told me,
Liars.
he texted me.
You
and
came
he
to my
told
job.
me-
You came to both of my jobs.
He
Hang on.
told me
Hang on, sir.
He told me outside of the job, stay out of my face. I said, I don't have a choice. I have to bring my daughter to work. I have to see you. But what stalking?
But what led up to that, though?
If it's stalking, me asking
All
him
right.
for my money and him flipping out in the parking lot to the point where I had to call the police and threatening my life and stuff like that. Like he was gonna get his sister to me up and stuff like that. I have no fear for nobody but God. Your
What I
Honor.
see before me is, regardless of how you both feel about each other now, the fact is she, with her money, paid for your teeth to be fixed. And that, any normal person would say, well, yeah, you owe her the money for having the teeth fixed. Forget everything else. Forget whether or not you had a relationship, what other jobs you might have had. For that amount of money, you should pay her back because it's the fair thing to do. People don't normally go around, unless they're related, buying each other teeth. So, yeah, for the $4,200. But you sued for $4,900.
Yes, sir. I
And
did.
the extra money, what's that for? Part of it, $400 for weed? You know, if you bought him weed,
He borrowed the money.
if you,
I didn't buy
She's
him.
so he could
ridiculous.
buy weed.
I didn't buy
But-
him weed, Your Honor. He borrowed the money and got the
Money
weed
so he
with
could have it.
So whatever
Okay.
he did
So
with
what
that
did you
money,
do with the money I paid you
that
back
was
from
on
the
him.
PCA? then?
Okay.
What
I'm
did
not,
you pay
okay.
back?
He
The only
never,
reason I mentioned
Your
the-
Honor, he took the
You're a
checks from the
liar.
PCA, never paid me anything. He would pay me 100 and then borrow 200. So it was going, coming, going, coming. It's all written down. Every time he paid me something, I put the date
Okay.
on it and I showed
I
him.
know. He signed that paper that he owed you $4,900 or whatever dollars.
Yes, sir.
The very next day, you loaned him another $300. So I'm just asking, this isn't a trick question.
Okay.
I'm just wondering, if this guy owes you $4,900,
Yes,
as you
sir.
say, and he's not been paying you back, as you say,
Correct.
why would the very next day you loan him another $300? I mean, what,
Okay.
honestly, what were you thinking?
Okay, that's just my nature. I'm a human being, Your Honor. If someone
I
needs help,
recognized that as soon as you walked out.
that's just my heart. So if somebody needed the money, I would lend it to them. He took all the PCA checks and never paid me. I don't care if he paid me from the PCA checks or his other 2 jobs. I don't
Got
want
it.
to name them. I don't know. I
Okay.
don't care where he paid me from as long as he paid me.
What did you pay her back? What have you paid her back? Not favors you did for her. What money did you pay her back?
I just gave her whatever checks that came. So like, I didn't bring anything with me because I never thought, the situation ended up like this. But when I would get the checks in my Chase account, I just give her the $300 for,
That's a lie, Your
or
Honor.
whatever amount the check was, I give it to her.
Okay.
He's lying
All
under
right.
oath,
She's
Your
the,
Honor.
but didn't she already speak? She's the one.
You're
like I
perjuring
said,
yourself. That's
but-
a
but can
lie.
she is the one that decided to breach the contract and turn the checks off.
Excuse
Okay.
me, Your Honor, I turned the checks off because he was not
turned the
paying
check off.
me.
You turned
He
the
was
check-
not
Okay.
paying them. He was pocketing them.
Ms.
And then he
Travioni,
told
stop
me.
But then
Speaking.
why would you give me some more money if I was pocketing it?
All right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Were you, with your PCA license, I guess,
Yeah.
were you officially working for her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were working for her.
Why is she coaching him on what she wasn't
Okay.
even around, Your
Ms.
Honor.
Travioni,
All right,
you have
okay.
to stop
Driving you around.
speaking. When
We
the
was
judge is
driving-
speaking to you,
In
then
my
you can
car.
comment.
He was my guest.
All right. Hey, what is before the court? I mean, the whole bunch of issues here, but what is before the court is you are suing because you want repayment of a loan.
Yes, sir.
Derrick, where you get your money from what particular job, whatever, that is irrelevant to the question of whether you have paid back the loan.
Okay.
Now, the only case before me is whether the loan was made, and it was, and whether you have paid anything back. For several months, you guys had, even if it's a non-sexual one, I won't get into that, you had some kind of a relationship, even if it's
Correct.
landlord-tenant, even if it's just 2 friends.
2 friends.
You were over there, she was helping you out, you did some things for her, you had a relationship. And in that relationship, we can't be every night before we go to bed, write down who paid for what that particular day. And then a year later, look at it and say, okay, you owe me this amount of money because I did more for you than you did for me. That's not how relationships work.
I have a promissory note, Your Honor, that he insisted.
You have a promissory note.
Yes, sir. That he
Okay, let me-
insisted that I write up for me to sign.
didn't insist that you write nothing up. That sound crazy.
Excuse me.
Let's get to this promissory note. The issue
I signed a promissory notice when I lived there with her.
on December 12th of 2019,
Yes, sir.
there is this promissory note that reads, I, Derrick Powell, owe the sum of $4,985.94 to one Melinda Travaglioni. I'm due to pay back this money weekly. The money was lent to me in the month of November 2019. I, Melinda Travaglioni, am aware that Derrick Powell will be paying me back weekly. Time is of the essence. And you both signed it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there is this promissory note. The only thing before me that I can enforce is what is a contract. The extra $300 that
Yes,
the
sir.
plaintiff, the Melinda, you put on there,
Yes, sir.
that came the next day.
Correct.
And he did not sign to that.
No,
so
sir.
I'm not recognizing that extra $300.
That is fine,
But the
Your Honor.
$4,900.85, Derrick, when you come to court, honestly, you can't leave it to a judge just to decide, oh, you pay her this much, you pay him this much. It can't go like that. It has to be based on evidence. And the evidence before me, unless you have something else, is that you agreed to repay her $4,985. And based on that, I fined for the plaintiff for $4,985.
Thank you, Your Honor.
When she invited me to her house, she didn't want me to stay in the living room. She wanted me to be in the bedroom.
I hope Derrick enjoyed it because he pocketed every single check and didn't do his job correctly.
I ended it because, she's just not the, most attractive woman,
I helped him and brought him to my house, but I didn't want to tell his business. But since he wanted to go there, let's ride.
Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. For more Judge Jerry, click here. For more Jerry Springer, click here.